Hi, it's Nick. I'm making this video to show you how I'm going to adapt this Lionel Fastrack switch. It's one of the new switches they have where you could operate it with the remote control. The situation with this particular switch, the motor works, which operates the throw for the switch to go into the straight position or curved position. But what's happening is that the light on the switch, it was on and then it started blinking and then it went off. I took it off the layout and I put it on the workbench and I hooked up to another transformer which I have on the workbench, and it worked. So I operated the switch, everything was fine. I put it back on the layout, and after a while the light starts blinking and then the indicator light went out and I couldn't get it to go. So as you can see, I have it back on the workbench, and I took the bottom cover off to save some time. I troubleshooted a little bit. I noticed when I had my voltmeter, I put it on the positive onto this positive side of this contact and the negative on the negative side of the contact where the bulb gets the power from, or the voltage, and there was no voltage there. So I traced the wire and it came to this particular connector right here. Now you notice there's a blue wire, green wire, a red wire, excuse me, and a yellow wire. The green wire and the blue wire is where it allows current to go to the contacts that would give power or voltage to the light, and it would light. This particular piece right here is the board, and as everyone knows, in order to troubleshoot something, you have to know how it works, and I just don't know how this works. I don't have a diagram of it. But I do know that there's no current coming out of the wires of the green and blue. The red and the yellow wire, that goes to the motor. So I know current is coming through this because the motor is working, and that throws the switch from the straight or a curve. So somewhere in this board there's either a resistor or something that is not working properly, and that's why we're not getting current through the blue and the green. Also, I noticed that the bulb, it's not direct 18 volts from the track. So there is some type of resistance in this board. So, and I do know that the bulb is good, it does operate. So what I did, to save some time, I cut these two wires which would feed current to the contacts for the bulb. And these are the two wires right here. Now, as you know, with a Lionel switch track, you can either put the bulb on the left side or the right side. So you would have contacts on the left side and contacts on the right side. Now you see two wires here, but as you come down further on the green, it splits where one wire goes to the left side and one wire will go to the right side, and the same with the blue. The blue goes to the left side and to the right side. Now, how am I going to get power from the track, which is 18 constant volts, so that this won't burn out the bulb? Well, I know there's a resistance in there, but I don't know what type of resistance or what ohms. But I remembered I have the bumper Fastrack, and it does have a bulb in there, and it's the same type, almost the same type bulb, except this is a red color. So I turned it over, and as you can see here, this is the positive rail of the Fastrack, and you notice that there is a resistor between the positive side of the railing, which goes through this resistor, goes to this connector, which is one side of the bulb, and then the other side of the bulb comes down, and this one is the neutral side, and that goes to the neutral side of the railing of the track. So I don't know what this resistor is, because each one of these color bands represent a number which gives you the total of the resistance. So what I did was I took one of these, because I had one of these switches, and I'm sorry, not switches, one of these bumpers wasn't working, but so I took this resistor and I brought it to Radio Shack, and I matched it up with resistors that they had at Radio Shack. And as you can see, I'll take this one right here and get it up to you. As you can see, it's the same color: brown, black, blue, velvet, and a gold. And I purchased them, and the package says that it's a 1K ohm resistor, and it's a 1/4 watt and 50% tolerance. Now, what I'm going to do is solder the resistor to the blue side, and then the green side I'm just going to solder it to the neutral rail of the switch. Now I just want to clarify something for the people out there. I would not do this if the switch was under warranty. I would notify Lionel, and I would send the switch back with a receipt of purchase. But this is past its warranty, which is over a year. So for me to send it to them or go to a Lionel dealer that repairs it, it would be just too costly. So I decided to go this route. Now that doesn't mean that anyone out there should do this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing to correct this problem on my switch. So I just wanted to explain that to you out there. Now I have my solder iron. It's hot now, and I have the solder. But I do want to explain one other thing. To save time, I stripped the two ends, and I put some solder on the ends. It'll be easier to solder to the resistor. So what I'm going to do right now, I have my resistor, and as you can see, the connectors, it's a long lead, and I don't want to have a short. So I purchased these plastic and put over the wire, and it'll cover most of the wire. And then when I solder it, I just put a little heat there, and it'll just melt it, and it won't slide. So right now what I'm going to do is solder the resistor to the blue wire. But I also have to make sure that I have the right direction of the resistor. And the way I'm holding it now shows me I have it the right direction. So I have a little stand here that helps me when I solder. Just move the switch out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to put it in this little clamp here. Like so. I think you can see that. And I have the solder gun, and I'm going to get the wire, bring it down so it'll make sure it touches it. Now remember, this blue wire that I have in my hand is one side of the bulb, or it will feed one side of the bulb. And let's just get this, there we go. Now she'll probably work out okay. Just have to clean it a little bit. There we go. Alright, that took. Now, I have another one of these little plastic. I'm going to slide it on this side, as you can see. And this one, I'm going to have to trim this a little bit. Put that on there. Like so. Now, this one is going to be connected to the positive side of the switch, which is right here. All right, cut that a little bit more, like so. And we'll get the soldering iron. And we'll just heat that a little bit. Try that again. Always something, huh? There we go. Get a little solder on there. Okay. And that should be on there, like so. And this, see how the heat made it melt? I think that'll be pretty good. Now what I'll do is I'll take the green wire and I'll put it on the neutral side rail of this switch, which is this right here. And what I'm going to do first is put a little solder on there, so I make sure it makes a contact. I think you fellas could see this. Yeah. Okay, and now I get the green wire and I will put it on there, like so. Okay, now if everything works properly, the light on the switch, when I put power on the tracks of the switch, this bulb should light. And that's what I'm going to do right now, fellas. Hook up the positive side to the middle track rail, and then the neutral side to the one of the outer rails. And let's see what happens. Yep, as you can see, the bulb lit. And now I'll shut it off. and then I'll put it back on. I think you can see that. I'll put the so maybe you can see the green or the red. Can you see that? Can you see the red? Shut some of these lights off. And then there's no power on it, so the lights goes off. I put the power on and the light goes on, as you can see it. And that's how I solved this problem where my switch will operate, but I didn't have a light. Now when doing this with the resistor, the light goes on and it doesn't burn out, it stays on. So I just wanted to share this with you fellas. You know, maybe some days out there one of the fellas might have this problem. But again, as I mentioned, if the switch is under warranty, go through the warranty. And if you're not sure on how to, you know, the soldering or the figuring it out, maybe you might have a friend that knows a little bit more about the electrical part of it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day, fellas. Take care now. Bye. Hi, it's Nick. I just put the metal cover on the switch, and I also put the switch onto the layout. And this is the switch right here I worked on. Is on constantly, and have my remote controller, and we'll see how they work. And also you'll notice that the switch I worked on is going to operate at the same time as the switch on the outer track. And here we go. As you can see, they're both working as one unit. So I just wanted to show this to you fellas, the finished product of the switch, that it's working and it's back on the layout. And as I mentioned before, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to end it now. You take care. Bye.